the Duncan Creek flows into the river and joins the mighty Chippewa at the falls. There's a feeling we are once again returning. Those days so long ago we hear them call. Oh, the past, past here. Yes, the past, past here. Feel it in the wind, feel it in the land. The past, past here. The Ojibwa came to camp there by the water. In springtime and in autumn they would stay, for the shelter of the hills provided comfort and respite from their journey on the way. Oh, the past, past here. Yes, the past, past here. Feel it in the wind, feel it in the land. The past, past here.
Hello, my name's Jim Shue, and I'm the Vice President of the Chippewa County Historical Society, and we're right now have the 10th annual The Past Here taking place in Allen Park. And this event has grown substantially. When it first started out, we had some reenactors camping here, and a couple of teachers brought their students down, and now it's quite a coordinated effort. We have 600 fourth grade students who come and experience life the way it was in the 17 and 1800s.
My character is a Métis. Métis is a half-breed, a French and an Ojibwe. My father would have been French, he would have been trading, he would have been a voyageur, and then my mom was an Ojibwe woman, so she would have been living into the Indian village. My father, the voyageurs, would have been brought into the Indian villages because they were trading and working with them so well, and then he would have married my mom, and then that's where I come in. So I actually portray, I am a Métis, but I portray a Métis person of the fur trade. I show them the game of lacrosse, or also known as Bagataway, which is little brother of war. So when I take them through what the game of lacrosse is actually all about, how it started to the progression of actual nowadays lacrosse. So I give them the big spiel about lacrosse and kind of the game, how the game concept works through traditional lacrosse with the Anishinaabe and Iroquois, Chippewa, other Sever nations. Those are the three that I know offhand that have three different styles, and how the sticks progressed into the new ones, how the game is played, and then we go into the game hunting and prey. So that way they get to handle the stick, they get to handle the ball, they get to throw it around at each other, they get to run around and just kind of have fun and get that general idea of how the game was played out.
The event is open to the public as well as the fourth grade students, and so anybody can come down with their family and talk to the demonstrators and see what their expertise is and learn about life back in the French fur trade era.
For the past here, I portray a clerk or trader of the Northwest Company. And essentially what I'm describing is something a little different than many of the other people that are out here interpreting history of the fur trade. I actually talk a little bit about the science of some of the things that they might see out here. As a businessman, this is a business, I have to keep very good records. Our company keeps good records at each post, and they have to be sent back to Montreal, 1,000 miles over water, creeks and rivers and lakes, through the rain, and it's going to get wet. We have to have ink that doesn't run on the page. And I explained the kind of ink that we had 200, 300 years ago, the oak gall ink, that if we drop our journal in the water, it won't run. It stays permanent on the page. And I explained the science behind how that ink is made.
Typically, we've got anywhere from 25 to 35 reenactor camps. We also have a variety of old-fashioned food. We've got Native American fry bread, buffalo burgers, Voyager stew, things that people would have been eating back in the old days. And we also have various forms of hands-on competition. We have games called cat and mouse, which is a balance game. We've got a game where people are going through an obstacle course with a canoe paddle and a tin cup, trying not to spill the water in the tin cup. We've got tomahawk throwing, a sawing competition where the fastest sawer is the winner, and we also have a beanbag toss, which kind of resembles voyagers throwing their ropes up on land to get their canoes back to shore.
When the kids come in the teepee, we talk about many things, but one of the most often asked questions is, does it take a tall ladder to set this teepee up? So I decided that I would show them how a teepee gets set up. First I started with twigs and they didn't work very well, so these are really dowel rods to show you. But we start out with 3 poles lying on the ground like this, and I want you to know, each one of those poles is a full tree. We start with them lying on the ground, and what my husband and I, the white man, do is we tie this here first with a piece of cotton clothesline because it doesn't slip. This represents a heavy brown jute rope that we tie to it, and I'm standing way far out in the field pulling on this while my husband is standing here walking it up. I'm pulling back, and when it gets almost straight up and down, I hold it steady, and he takes this one and puts it right there. And that is the secret of how a teepee goes up. Now, all of the rest of the poles are just dropped in place, and they do have to go in a certain place or a certain order, and if they don't, it doesn't work. We put 4 here, 4 here, then we go across the back and put 1, 2, 4. 3 is the lift pole, which the cover, the outside of the teepee, is all tied here. The cover of our 20-foot teepee weighs 92 pounds. Dry. And you know it has been rainy around here. Again, we tie clothesline around here so that I can be out here pulling and lifting while he's here lifting it to his shoulder. Now this is the place where I have the greatest respect on earth for my husband. This pole is as heavy as can be, and he is standing straight up. And the pole does not have the grace to stand still. It bounces here and here and here, and he has a spot that wide that he needs to drop that pole in. When it gets up there, we just unroll it around, and there are 2 holes and 2 holes on each side, and we shove a stick through those, and that's what holds the teepee up. And that is the real secret of how a teepee goes up.
One of our goals with the Chippewa County Historical Society is to share local history with the community, and this event really is a perfect way to do that. We couldn't do this event without all of our volunteers who come down each year and help us run the event, and also our talented reenactors who come and donate their time to share their knowledge of history. We also have to thank our sponsors, because without their help this event would also not be possible.
So the trapper and the trader came to meet here, and then where's to make exchange at the falls where Duncan Creek still joins the river. The spirits of the early people reign.
This event typically takes place the week prior to Mother's Day, ending on Mother's Day, and we certainly would invite everyone to come out, bring their families. It's in an inexpensive way to have some family fun.
Feel it in the land of past here. Yes, the past here.